stream, hopefully, or did a live drive, as I like to call it. Get our settings here already. Alright, looking good. Hopefully, everything working. I will just check. Oh, I'll just check and then I'll get back to you in a sec. So, we are mga 3 hours lang pala yung drive. 123 kilometers. 123 kilometers daw. Okay, let me just check. Alright, 2 people. Let me know, guys. Let me see if chat. Wait. Should be able to see chat. I can't really like, I need to. It's been a while since I did a live drive. Okay. Let me just check and share it to Facebook. So we are live. Do we have audio? So we are live. Do we have audio? Yes, we do. We are live. Do we have audio? Yes, we do. We are live. Okay, enough of that Inception stuff. Okay, we'll be off in a bit. I will just share this video to Facebook and I'm gonna show you the ad and then we're gonna be on our way. Looking good so far. Hopefully the internet, Globe Mobile Internet will cooperate. Just sharing to Facebook. Okay, dokie. There we go. And of course, the most important thing, why do we do anything with Hardware Sugar? It's just to make more content to show you this.
Sawa ka na ba sa unactivated Windows mo? Well, lucky you! Pinakabago mula sa cdkeyoffers.com. Windows 10 and Windows 11 activation codes. Legit, safe, at pinakamura. Madali lang umorder. Hanap ang Windows version na gusto mo. Piliin ang preferred daytime method. Wala pang 5 minutes, nagsisigi ka na para sa Windows mo. Marami na kaming natulungan.
Dati, sobrang depressed ako. But now, I found the love of my life. Dati, aimless and walang purpose ang life ko. But now, I'm a world-class Zumba instructor.
So, web developer ako and content creator for a YouTube channel. And ngayon, ganun pa rin ako pero activated na yung Windows ko. Kaya kung naghahanap ka ng legit, mura, at original software,
Check out cdkoffer.com.
check out cdkoffer.com. Check out cdkoffer.com.
What's up, Adrian June? Good morning. Thank you for the notes of concern. I will try to be safe on the long drive. You guys keep me safe on the long drive. Alright. Let's roll. It says 3 hours to destination. Apparently it's 151 kilometers. Yeah, 151 kilometers. Yesterday I wasted, it was 123. So biglang nadagdagan nung 30 kilometers. But you know, what's 30 kilometer? Actually, but and apparently Waze has a new zombie, or you know, pang Halloween na theme. So you can skin your car na zombie, and the voice are also zombies or survivors. I went with zombies. We are right on time at 6. Come back. Sir. We're right on time at around 6:30. To be honest, I should have left mga 6 o'clock, but it takes me a little while to boot up, especially now. Especially now. A husky being a husky. Takes me a little while now to boot up in the morning. Hopefully it won't take us too long to hit the Skyway. So our route is Skyway all the way down. And then at the end of the Skyway, I guess that's the Star Toll and then Maharlika. I think it's Star Toll after South Super Highway.
Turn left and then turn right. In 200 meters, turn right.
I have gone south before for deliveries. I think like southwise, we're going to Lucena. I think Lucena might be the closest. I'm sorry, the farthest south I've gone for a delivery. Pero hindi naman I think the farthest might be Batangas. I mean, like in a straight line ba south. I think Lucena might be the farthest I've gone. So north, I've gone all the way. So north, I've gone all the way up to.
100 meters, turn right.
I've gone all the way up to.
Turn left.
Man, I have to keep braking. There's so many, but traffic's pretty good. I've gone all the way up to. I want to say Ilocos. It starts with an I. And there are the nice beaches and stuff.
Turn right.
Alright, hang on.
And then turn left.
So we are coming from Makati, where Hardware Sugar is. Sup, Christian? Thank you. I will try to stay safe on the road. But we're not. I already picked up the items beforehand from the shop, so didn't need to pass by the shop anymore.
Turn left. And then continue straight.
Sorry guys, I put you on there. Alright. So this is the same kind of setup that I've used before for the live drives. The cell phone is mounted to a tripod, and then the tripod does get a little not so stable.
Continue straight. And then continue straight.
So on the stretches where Sup, Leah Magnaye? Sup, Mark Lester? To be honest, I don't know. I forgot how much the case is. Like, I don't even know. So the specs of the PC are, it's a 4060 Ti. But CPU-wise, I don't recall anymore, to be honest. Like, it's in the receipt in the back. I can look it up later. The DAN A3, I also don't remember. It's an M80X case. Looks good. But to be honest, like I didn't even see these rigs anymore when they were being assembled and when they were the team did all of that already. So yeah, I can't even remember what the CPU is. So we should be hitting the Skyway momentarily just after this last stoplight. Looking good so far. Yes, ideally I would have started around 6 o'clock, pero alright, hang on, let me just alright, plugged in the charger. Ideally, I would have left around 6 o'clock, but it takes a little while for me to boot up nowadays, like in the morning. So I end up sleeping late because of the kids. Plus, yeah, before, like, I could wake up early and I wouldn't feel the effects. Like, like early, 6-ish, 5-ish.
200 meters. Keep right.
But now I really take a while to, start getting to boot up in the morning. Kumbaga, hindi naka SSD utak ko. We are still on old-fashioned hard drive for my brain.
Keep right.
Okay, up the sky we go. Hang in there, tripod. Anytime I do a live drive, I always tell myself that I will upgrade the equipment that I use. But basically, like I always wanted to do 2 cam and then pipe it through OBS. But in the end, I always just end up doing. So it's my cell phone, my main cell phone, attached to a tripod, and then it's here in the foot area of the passenger seat. And then I have my old cell phone, which serves as my Waze. And then it's just here in the cup holder dito sa rear side, or sorry, not the rear side, the bottom of the front dash. And so I just need to glance down and I can see it. And that's basically it. So both of them are on their own data. So the one I'm using, they're both Globe, unfortunately, because as we found out in the old live drives or the previous live drives, Globe mobile internet is not the best. I mean, overall, I'm a tentative fan of Globe. Like, they do annoying things, but feeling ko they're better than Smart. Although, to be honest, I hate Smart more because I hate PLDT. Smart itself seems to be quite a good service. And then for the mobile data, in my experiments, both in the city and outside the city, mas maganda nga yung Smart. So, yeah, but unfortunately now, my data connection is Globe for the streaming and then a separate Globe line, mobile line for the Waze. And the delivery car in question, the one I'm using now, is my very old but still very good CRZ, a short of which, like, we have a short in the works where I just talk about, like, kamusta yung battery life nung CRZ. Battery life meaning the hybrid batteries, not like the car battery. So the hybrid, the batteries in the back that assist the hybrid engine. If you don't want to wait for that short, the short answer is still very good. Like, they don't reach 100% anymore, but 80-90%. So all the functionality is still there. And I think this is like a 10-year-old car, so still pretty good. Like, it assists the ICE or the internal combustion engine when it needs to. It also so yung kagandahan ng CRZ, you have a sports mode where if you need a little extra oomph or added acceleration, you can either put it into sports mode. So it has econ mode, normal mode, and sports mode. So those are always on modes. Like, when driving, you need to choose at least one of those modes. So you can go into sports mode and the handling tightens up and your acceleration goes way up. Like, it's much faster acceleration compared to when you get in econ mode. And then for times that you need a temporary speed boost, like you want to go 70 to 100 in like 2 seconds or I don't know, whatever, there is a button here that you can activate speed mode and it gives you a real kick, for a short amount of time. And both those modes, but in particular the sports mode, uses the electric batteries of the hybrid, and yeah, both of those still work just great. I prefer driving the CRZ, especially on long drives, because it's more agile. Like, mas maliit siya, so it's just nicer to drive overall. A bit more agility or flexibility on the road. Plus, I mean, it does have a sports car silhouette, kind of lower to the ground, more aggressive look on the road. Although this is my daily driver. I mean, even when I'm not doing hardware sugar deliveries, this is the one I use to bring my kid to school, for me to go to work, for me to go to the shop. So this is my daily driver. Cebu Pacific landing. We're passing the airport. Anybody waiting for a Cebu Pacific flight? look like a smaller plane. It's probably one of their domestic flights. So we're just gonna go down ETA 937. We're just gonna be going down this road. Good morning to everyone just joining us. Sorry, I'd like to read chat, but we're trying to be safe, so my eyes are on the road. And the chat on the phone is like super small. It's hard for me to make out, so I really need to kind of stop to read the chat. So I'll read chat later. But if you are watching us on Facebook, I won't, and you message on Facebook, I won't be able to see it until much later, because the live chat, only YouTube has the live chat here. I mean, like if you chat me on Facebook, it'll pop up on my screen here, but not if you chat on Facebook, because the video you're seeing on Facebook is only shared. It's not directly streamed by Facebook. I could do a multi-channel stream, but again, I would have to pipe it through a device like a laptop, and then something like through OBS, all of which is technically possible, but think about it. Whether that is technically possible, yes. To be honest, I didn't want to go through the trouble of... Although I did bring the laptop. I do have my laptop here on the side, and the NAS is beside me. We don't want to jiggle the NAS too much. Yeah, so for those who don't remember the live drives, I think we started doing this around pandemic time, or you know, the later days of the pandemic, where you could kind of go out. So I remember no, actually, to be fair, even like at the start of Hardware Sugar, we used to do live delivery. I mean, personal deliveries. Like it would be me going to delivering items to customers, and I made it all the way up to the end of NLEX, Subic area, and I would leave like 10 in the evening, arrive there like 12:30, something like that. But before, like, this was like the early months of Hardware Sugar, so we were super desperate for customers, and we just wanted to make a good impression. So like when you order it, talagang kahit nasa Subic ka or something, the next day deliver namin. And I wasn't streaming it because we didn't have a YouTube channel yet. I think we did have a Facebook channel, but no YouTube channel yet. So I wasn't streaming yet those deliveries. It was during the pandemic. So we've been doing like personal deliveries for Hardware Sugar basically ever since the shop started 5 or so years ago. But we started streaming the live deliveries, I think around like later days of the pandemic. If I recall the latest, yung earliest live drives. I mean, for me, it was a chance to... I like driving as long as it's not traffic. Basically, so that means it has to be outside of Metro Manila, right? Kasi anywhere you go, regardless kung holiday or whatever, if you're in Metro Manila, it's kind of traffic. So I do enjoy drives. I like driving. Like seeing what the car can do, what the vehicle can do. Pero kailangan walang traffic. Like, for me, that's the ultimate buzzkill when you're when you're in a car and you want to go fast, or you want to kind of see what it can do, but then you're in traffic. I mean, this sucks the fun out of everything. So the deliveries I usually do are outside talaga of Metro Manila. You go north, you go south, kind of stretch your legs a bit, kind of get better gas mileage. Right now we're getting like 20 kilometers per liter. My average on the CRZ over 10 years is 11.4. But kasi like 98% of that time I'm just in the city kasi. But now we can really get better. Get better gas mileage because we can go faster. But of course, as I say that, we have slowed down a little bit. We're at around 40 kph because I don't know. Because just as I say that I like driving when there's no traffic, of course we hit just a little traffic. So the lugi kami sa mga live drives na to. Usually what the customer pays for shipping is for the regular mode of shipping. So we send it through a courier. It's gets picked up from us, gets sent to a central point. I mean, yun nga, parang it's handled by a third party service. So of course, yung logistics nila are better. They group together a lot of orders, they send them out in bulk, so the cost is much less. Ito talaga basically point to point. Usually the drives I take, basically takes up 3/4 of a tank, a full tank. And then there's my time. But yun nga, all of those things, and of course there are the tolls also. Never mind my time, hindi naman to billable hours.
100 meters. Exit right.
Exit right naman tayo na 100. Alright. Oh yeah, we don't want to go to Alabang, right? This always confuses me. I'm not in the south as often as I mean, I have taken this route before, but I can never quite remember which is the Alabang way and then which is the... I just want to keep going south way. Yeah, this RAV4. Whoa!
200 meters. Exit right.
Alright.
Exit right.
Okay. Tripod a little wobbly. Hang in there. Yes, so the live drives, but I enjoy getting out of the city. Actually, it's really, the live drives are really more for me and for my peace of mind. Usually, a lot of the time, the live drives are expensive hardware. So, I mean, it's either like a really expensive rig. Actually, now we have 3. This customer, these are all for just one customer. They ordered 3 rigs plus a NAS. So, I mean, you send those out. I mean, we trust naman our courier, pero it's always better. Like my policy is anything that we can do in-house, we do in-house. So when this opportunity came up and my schedule cleared up, like my eldest daughter doesn't have class today, and then my younger son doesn't have class at all yet because he's too small pa to attend school. So my schedule opened up today. Actually, this has been ready at the shop since Wednesday. Yeah. But my schedule opened up today and I'm like, yeah, let's do a personal delivery. If Revan Jan is out there or watches this later on, Revan Jan is one of the few customers that I've done a live delivery for who resides in Metro Manila. Because Revan Jan was quite keen before na how come I haven't gotten a live drive? So I actually did do that live drive, but that was just like as part of the circuit. Like palabas ako ng Metro Manila to do another delivery, and then I passed by his place. And then alam ko holiday yun, so I like to do these things on holidays when there's less traffic, or like on a weekend, like early on a weekend. I do recall that was a holiday. I don't remember where I went after that. So I did that delivery sa may Pasig, and then I exited the city to do another delivery. The whereabouts, I cannot remember anymore. But the worst talaga, the worst personal deliveries I've done are yung sa may BF homes, yung sa may Las Piñas area, yung mga Talon 4 or something like that. Grabe yung mga yun. Because it's so difficult. Like the villages there, they don't let you go in, and Reconnecting. Okay, reconnected. So I was just complaining that the most difficult personal deliveries I've done are the ones in Las Piñas sa mga Talon 4 area or things like that, yung around the BF Homes area. Kasi like they're super anal about not letting you into the villages. Waze also doesn't quite understand where it's supposed to route you if you can't go through the villages. Yeah, so I've spent like literally hours in that area kind of trying to figure out na okay, the customer is here, parang konting talon lang, nandito na tayo, pero we can't enter through this one gate and then it has to be through this other gate. Yeah, so those are tough, those are annoying. I remember, yeah, so speaking of which, like it was one of the early months of the shop. Siguro mga 3 months or so in operation. We got this expensive build, one of the earliest expensive builds we did, like 100 plus K. It was a Corsair M80X case. I think, is there like a case like a Crystal 280X or 28DX or something like that? Besides, it's a good looking largish, I believe, M80X case. The delivery was just sa it was up north, pero boundary ng Metro Manila tsaka Bulacan. It's really like this out of the way area. And you know, we really wanted customers, so talagang best foot forward. So this guy was recommended to us by another customer, but we didn't know him personally, like wala pa siyang purchase history with the shop and everything. He just ordered, and so I was like, sige, tuloy na natin. And then he wanted COD, which we don't do it for full builds. We do ask for payment up front now, but at the time we were really like very new shop, desperate for clients. Seemed okay naman kausap through chat. Like I don't think we even spoke over the phone. So he basically ordered this 100 plus K rig, and then he's like, for delivery, COD, and then I was like, okay, let's do it. So we assembled the rig, and then I delivered it personally. Tapos yun nga, parang very far out there. Like it's the area I had never been to before, and never been to again after that. And then when I get there, I can't find the delivery address kasi it was in sort of like a subdivision, pero one of those smaller subdivisions na there aren't proper street names or house numbers. Yung parang lot 6, 7 Bravo, tapos street so and so. Yung talagang medyo mahirap hanapin. So I kept going around and around. I couldn't find the place. I kept trying to call the customer. He wasn't picking up. So I was like, man, did we just get scammed? I mean, not scammed in the sense na like, you know, we didn't send the rig out naman. I was the one person who delivered the rig. So I still had the rig. Pero nabuksan na namin yung parts eh. Like we already opened the parts, we already assembled the rig. It would be hard to sell the rig with, you know, as is, kumbaga. Yes, it was brand new, yes, never used, but you know, generally people want to be able to use their own rig. So I didn't know what to do, but I didn't want to give up on the order also. So I just waited for an hour. Kept trying to call him. This was around lunchtime. Kept trying to call him, walang nagpipick up. Kept trying to find the address, so I kept asking people. Nobody quite knew the lot number. And then so I waited like for an hour just in the area. It's a peaceful area naman, so hindi crowded, out of the way. I felt safe, so you know, I didn't feel na this was a setup na kukunin yung, like, you know, God forbid somebody jumps me or something and then bye 100 plus K rig. So I was waiting around in the area until finally the customer picked up and he apologized because he was sleeping. He usually works or stays up late. So that's why he wasn't picking up, because he was still asleep. And the transaction went perfectly fine. It was perfectly smooth. We got paid, customer got his rig, and then we never, no complaints. Like, he never had to come back for maintenance or anything like that. Nice guy. But those, that was one of the earliest kind of personal deliveries. Wala pa, yeah, I wasn't streaming yet then either. Nah, I was kind of like, man, did we just make a mistake? And 100K, especially back then, bago pa lang yung shop, 100 plus K rig was a lot of money out up front for the shop. So yeah, I was like, man, I hope na matuloy ito. Also, I also like doing the personal deliveries because I always had good experience interacting with customers. There was one guy I delivered another very nice rig to sa Batangas, and then parang he owned a gas station, so that's where I ended up delivering it. And then he even, like, we ended up having a meal together. Like, he had food ordered and we sat down. Naiya naman, you know how it is, tayong mga Pilipino, parang we get invited to food and then parang nakakaya to say no, but at the same time nakakaya rin to say yes. But yeah, I did end up having yung parang soup nila doon. Molo ba yun sa Batangas? Like, yung parang specialty ng area na yun. Although I do what stresses me out about the personal deliveries is, like, sometimes they ask me to set up the system. So I'm like, sure. So I'm setting up the system, or they ask me to, like, oh, can we test the system? So I set up the system, and then sometimes it doesn't boot. I'm like, oh holy god, what's going on here? So parang it's really hard to troubleshoot when you don't have your equipment. Like, you're not in your technical spot. Like, we're not at the shop, right, where I have the tools in place, or I'm not at my house where I usually troubleshoot my own personal devices. So it's happened to me, like, these personal deliveries, and they're like, oh, can you please set up, or can we test it? And I test it, and like the bloody computer won't turn on, right? So it's like, hardware sugar, medyo sketchy. Pa-deliver, personal delivery, hindi naman gumagana yung deliver. But always when so I open it up, I take first, you examine the physical cables and things, and like, yeah, 100% of the time, the only problem is some cable got dislodged in the transit. And like, in a way, kasalanan ko yun because I was the one driving. Pero hindi naman ako dumadaan sa mga lubak-lubak, right? I mean, I take the roads that are given to me by Waze. So, and I drive when I have computers with me, just because you don't want them shaking around. Although the care that they get from me is a lot better, I'm assuming, than they get from, like, a courier, for example, na nasa closed van lang, and then God knows how they treat the rigs. Although, to be fair to our couriers, we have two that we use all the time, either SF Express or Ninja Van. The food rigs that we've sent out, we've never had an issue, like, with the customers outside of Metro Manila. Yung issue namin sa mga customers, because sometimes we get, like, small percent, like maybe 5-10%, sorry, like 10% have problems with the setup because they're plugging the monitor into the motherboard instead of the GPU. But a very small percentage, maybe like 2%, are really very militant that there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong, but they just don't know how to work the computer, which we're trying to walk them through it. But they just a very, like, yung point of view nila, hindi to gumagana, hindi ko kasalanan. So they're very not receptive to trying to solve the problem, even though the problem is very solvable. Like, a real life example, we had a customer na shipped all the way to Mindanao, and then his Wi-Fi wasn't working, and then we're like, did you plug in the Wi-Fi antennas of the motherboard? And he's like, no, they did not arrive. And we're like, we're sure they're there. He gave us, like, this entire thing that they're not here. The next day, inamin niya na, oh no, we found them, but we plugged them in and they're still not working. So then we asked him to send us a screenshot of the desktop, and they weren't working kasi hindi naka-enable yung Wi-Fi, naka-LAN setting siya. So I mean, super simple things like that, but that customer, yun nga, and it's not the shop's fault because it's not like we're physically there to do this, diba? I mean, if we were there, sana madali na lang. Pero so those customers are very rare, but they are very troublesome when they do happen. Thankfully, I haven't encountered any of those on my personal deliveries. Everyone I've met in the personal deliveries are super, yeah, they're nice folk, and that's really what I would like sana for Hardware Sugar na our informal motto is cool parts for cool people. Like, I don't want the high maintenance customers, to be honest. Like, there's so many other shops. You can please take your business elsewhere if you know you're a very high maintenance kind of client. I just like chill dudes, man. I just like chill folk who are just like very relaxed. If something goes wrong kasi, we have your back. Like, you don't need to be super angsty about it. No, bakit ganyan? I want warranty or whatever. Like, believe me, we will have your back. So, but yeah, I've never had a problem in the personal deliveries. Yung personal kaba ko lang, it's like, yeah, occasionally I will have to set up the computer at the customers, and then like something is not working, and I'm like, why is it not working? I to be honest, I don't bring any equipment with me. I don't even have my screwdriver with me, which is kind of dumb if you think about it. Maybe I should have my like basic equipment with me. It's kind of silly that I. So yes, maybe I should have. Although ever since my kid streams, especially shop, because like when I'm game streaming, they like to sit on my lap a lot of the times. Or my daughter has walked in like when I'm doing Pwede Magtanong or things like that. So you've seen them. Yun nga, my son doesn't go to school yet. My daughter does though. Ever since she has started school, I don't have my time has been severely cut. My time for the shop and my time for deliveries. So it has been a while since I've done a live drive, like a personal delivery. We are currently I don't know, what exit are we on? We've definitely passed Alabang na. Like, we are quite far na along SLEX. Santa Mesa na ba tayo? Which saint is Santa Mesa anyway? Like, who is Mesa? Which saint is Mesa? Who knows? I think we're near the EK exit. Kasi there's a Total gas station on my left, like Manila bound, and then I recall that it's sort of near the EK exit. Although again, yun nga, it's not like I pass this road every day, only as needed. I have gone actually for my personal trips down, even further down south sa may Daet, because I have relatives there. So I have driven like Manila Daet, although that is much farther. We're actually taking the same route basically. So this route now is like SLEX, and then I guess Star Tollway, and then Maharlika Highway. And that is basically all the way down to Daet, like if you just keep going straight. So I have gone there on personal visits to visit relatives. We have visited Calaguas. It's an island. You have to take a bumboat na it's an hour plus, maybe even longer sometimes if the tide is against you. Calaguas is nice because it's like Boracay back when Boracay wasn't commercial yet. So there aren't a lot of establishments. The beach is really virgin, and it's a lot more chill vibe compared to how Boracay is now, where you know it's very developed. It says 4.5 kilometers and we reach the end of SLEX. So not bad. Wala pang 1 hour. We've been on the road about 35 minutes. What I like about the CRZ, which I haven't seen in a lot of cars, even though I would think it would be kind of standard to have, is that it has a readout where it shows you the amount of time that the engine has been on, or like the entire trip, because it keeps going even when it auto shuts down the engine, like in traffic. But basically the trip, how long you've been on this particular trip. I find it super useful just to, like, I have to go to my kid's school every day, so I experiment with routes, and then like I take the average time, like I'm trying to be more efficient like that. Average time versus like severity of traffic. Kasi sometimes if I'm not in a rush, I'll take the route that is more traffic but more chill also. You don't have to be as aggressive on the road. You know what I mean? Like some routes talaga parang just because of the turns that you have to do, and then the amount of congestion and things like that, they're faster even though they're traffic. Pero ang stress ang stress i-drive. And then especially sa Metro Manila, wala talagang bigayan yan. You signal, nobody gives a hoot. It's like really, you have to be in aggressive mode all the time, and I really find that kind of driving draining. And when I get stuck behind this guy. So sometimes I'll be like, I just want to kind of relax. And you're kind of routes that you just need to go in a straight line. Like you just take one lane, wala nang going in and out of lanes, you just keep going straight. So those are the routes I find na mas relaxed. But having connection problems, hopefully it stabilizes. As I mentioned earlier, based on our experience, mas maganda talaga yung Smart for mobile data.
1 kilometer. Continue straight.
I don't know if you can hear the zombie voice on air, pero it's pretty trippy. That's why I chose it for this stream. Not this stream, I mean just this particular drive.
Continue straight.
Alright, looks like the connection is stabilized. This car is 6-speed, so it's a manual 6-speed. It's the only 6-speed car I've ever had. And then sometimes I just
Continue straight. In 800 meters. Continue straight.
like, what is going on? Why are these like
400
sorry, nalito ako sa taas.
Continue straight.
Like, why did my lane just disappear? And then suddenly I have traffic cones in front of me. There are some drivers on SLEX that are super aggressive. I just assume that they're the ones who have to pass here every day. Sanay na
Continue
sila.
straight.
There first this guy who just cut me off. In general, I notice when I go outside of Metro Manila, it's a lot more chill to drive. But just because I bring my bad habits from driving in Manila to like the province or like just the areas outside of Metro Manila, kasi generally mas sanay sila magbigayan dun. But then like Metro Manila drivers are just like hells no, and you're going in through any opening that you can find and things like that. But I do try to be a bit more relaxed when I drive outside of MM. Yeah, so I was mentioning that this car is 6 speeds. The only 6-speed car I've ever had, ever driven. And I mentioned it kasi it happens quite a lot that I forget which gear I'm on. Like I've driven manual cars. I mean I do have automatics. Growing up, like when I was starting to drive, I started with a manual, then matic, then manual. So I'm comfortable with both. It's only in this car na nakakalimutan ko what gear I'm on. Like, you know, a normal 5-speed manual, no problem. Mentally, I always have a, you know, you can track it in your head like, oh, I'm on third, I'm on fifth. But for some reason, even now, like 10 years later, driving this thing, sometimes nawawala pa rin ako na, what gear ba am I on? Like, kasi nakakalito eh. Parang, the fifth is near third, and then the pinaka bottom right, but not reverse, is six. So, I mean, it sounds more complicated than it actually is, pero, alright, let's do this. What are we doing? It sounds more complicated than it actually is, but that said, like, I do get kind of lost sometimes, even when I'm not, you know, doing a live stream and having to kind of split my attention. Just like I'm just driving by myself and things like that. I'm like, I need to change gear, but I forgot what gear I'm on. So usually I have to downshift like from 5 to 3 or something like that. Kasi just to get to a gear na pwede na for the speed I'm in. And then basically I have to go back into neutral and then come into a gear that pwede na for what speed I'm going at. Just because di ko na maalala what particular gear I'm on, so I don't know up to where I can downshift to. We're basically at the end of wala nang toll booth. Because it says my next Waze instruction is just go straight for 40 kilometers San Jose off ramp. So we ended SLEX already. Yeah, we're in that area maybe like 5 years ago. Medyo madalas, hindi naman super dalas, but we go to Batangas to dive, and so like this is the area na medyo mountainous, or at least the prettier part of the highway compared to like SLEX, which is basically all highway. Parang the drives up north are prettier after you end NLEX compared to like after you end SLEX. Especially like Subic area, or although yung papuntang Baguio, there's that one expressway, T-Plex ba yun? That's just so straight and so boring. Like whenever we go up to Baguio, I'm always super sleepy on that stretch of highway kasi like it is unrelenting, unremitting. It's just like this straight road where there's not much going on also in terms of scenery. So palagi talaga ako, like 100% palagi akong inaantok when I have to pass that particular, I think it's T-Plex, I'm not too sure. You can't see my dashboard, but like the what I talked about earlier na the globe. Yeah, so I was just saying that we were kind of on an incline, so the car got some extra kick from the batteries, so the electric batteries. Toll booth in 20 meters. Alright. You just want me to keep going straight, right? I hope I have the proper, like I have both MVP's toll thing and then Ramon Ang's toll thing. Although I'm always perpetually wary kasi nahuli na ako dati. Like I was on a, papunta akong Tagaytay, I was on a tollway and I'm like, I assumed it was a Ramon Ang tollway kasi at the time I only had the RSA RFID. Turned out to be the MVP tollway, and then I pumila ako dun sa may RFID because I thought, you know, my thing had RFID. It did, but it had the wrong RFID. So na-ticket pa ako for obstruction or some BS I mean, why don't they make these things easier? There is no sign on the bloody tollway. Anyway, so I got ticketed. I had to go all the way to LTO. Yeah, the main LTO to get my, wala naman toll booth ways. Unless we're still coming up to it. I had to go all the way to LTO to get my license back. You can't send a representative. I'm here second tire. I don't know why we like making things so hard for people. I mean, it's magaling tayo dun eh. Yung we put up road, we make things harder. We are very good at making things 200% harder than they need to be. Like, you know, am I a very bad person? Do I have moral turpitude because I didn't have the RFID one time, and so now I have to take time off from work and go to LTO, and then I have to sign a thing na yes, driving thing. I mean, it's kind of nuts. So, and then it went on my permanent record. So when I got my license renewed, I could only get it renewed for 5 years instead of 10. Yeah, so basically now, even though I have both toll things, I'm always kinda nervous, like what tollway am I on and who do I owe money to, and do I have enough credit in that particular toll RFID. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't know. And yung talent natin na yun, it extends to everything. Getting permits, even like private companies, or like super simple thing. You're entering a private subdivision to visit a friend, and then the guard at the gate asks you, anong sadya mo? And like that, for me, that's a completely useless question, because even if you have bad intentions in mind, you're gonna say something very innocuous, like I'm visiting my friend. So the question and the answer doesn't give any useful information. It's just a waste of time. And then, so yung pet peeve ko talaga dito is Ayala Alabang. Yun palaging ganun, like, anong sadya mo? Anong sadya mo? Like, what are you going to do at the address? And again, like, if I want to do nefarious activities, I'm gonna say something. Am I gonna say, like, I'm gonna do nefarious activities? Right? I mean, it's completely ridiculous. And just like super small examples like that. And then you multiply that in government, you multiply that in other private sector activities. I mean, we're super good at wasting each other's time. And so that's like one thing I really try to do in Hardware Sugar. It's like, let's get straight to the point. Like, how can we help you? What's the problem? What can we do today? Instead of ang dami pang mga egg na, oh no, we can't do that kasi ganito ganyan, or we can do that but we need this and that. And from the get-go pa lang, it's like, how can we help you? Let's be straight up like this. Not that we're unfriendly, we are super friendly, but it's more like, we value your time, we value our time. What can we do for you today? Instead of like this, like, very unproductive back and forth, which I feel a lot of companies, whether public or private, or a lot of activities, government, whatever, as these live drives are an opportunity for me to just talk about anything. If you go, I just my pet peeves in general, pet peeves about driving experience, computer experience. Because I mean, these are hour long, I mean, hours plural drives, right? And there is no one but me to fill up the airtime. Like, I can't even read chat, because it would be a very short drive if I were reading chat, because I wouldn't get very far. So I get it on accident. So I am 95% focused on the road and 5% focused on my monologue. It's been a while since I did a live drive, but I've been talking now straight for around, has been an hour. Last time check was 35 minutes. Now we're at 51 minutes this trip. My average kilometer per liter is way up this trip. You're gonna see that here too. Like, the CRZ was my first car na mas maraming metrics involved. Like, you could see your average kilometer per liter for your entire use of the car. Oh man, it was kind of dangerous what this car in front of me just did. And I don't want to be behind you anymore because you are kind of shifty. Okay, we're back. You know, the worst thing about doing live drives with a globe connection is when you're just you're very passionate about the point that you're making, you're talking to the camera, and when you glance at the phone, you realize that nobody has heard what you were saying because the connection cut out. So thanks a lot, Globe. I did mention earlier that I was trying to, every time I do a live drive, I say to myself I will upgrade the how we do it so that I have a forward facing camera. So like my thing was on Facebook, you could see like what I see in front of me, and then like YouTube would be like me talking to the camera. Yeah, I guess I could have done that now, but I still don't have the proper tripod to mount the camera here, like to mount it so that it won't fall off the dashboard. I could pipe everything through OBS, but then my concern for that is like I'm dependent on my laptop life, because it's not like I can plug it into a socket while we're going. At least like ito ngayon, naka 100% yung phone ko. And my phone has decent battery life. It's a Pixel 7. So, and then I am charging it, and then naka-connect rin siya to, it's charging right now via my car. But even without the charging, I'm pretty sure I could have gone like definitely at least one way na naka live stream without any problems from the phone. I remember before my phone overheating, but I don't think it was the Pixel 7 yet. I do have my old phone. Just shout out to my very old OnePlus 5T. I do miss this guy actually. Great screen, lighter and a bit broader than the candy bar format of the Pixel 7. The Pixel 7 also is a bit heavier. Pixel 7 also has a very nice screen, a lot better pictures and video, which is why I got it, considering that, you know, occasionally we have to do some content. And that's also why I use it as my primary streaming device now. And then I just have my OnePlus 5T, which is on a separate data connection altogether for my Waze connection. But yeah, I think I was doing a live drive before. I only had one phone then. So I was doing Waze at the same time as doing the live drive. Pero paano ko ginawa yun? Kasi ang hirap to check Waze while you're, like, I wouldn't be able to make kalikot the phone. Make kalikot the phone. Di ko magamit yung phone talaga while live driving. So I don't remember what I was doing before. To think about that. So I have to recall. But yeah, it's always been kind of like, how would we do this better? Like, yeah, we can pipe it through OBS or just like different streams, like one to Facebook and one to YouTube from separate devices. This is pleasant. Like, traffic pretty light. I'm doing around 90. You can see the kind of trees in the background, so less kind of urbanish type. A lot of cars overtaking me, but I don't mind. Again, it's very chill drive. We still have 2 hours to go, so no need to get crazy. I think it's my first time to go to Lucena. I mean, like, actually stop off in a place there. 2 hours. Make good time. 4 hours 30 kasi yung ETA anyways when I checked it yesterday. I was just trying to figure out like the route and budgeting the time. So actually a 3-hour ETA is a lot faster than I was anticipating. Almost 50% faster. So that's pretty good. Weather also doing quite nice over here. Gray skies but no rain. I was nung Wednesday, so I dropped off my kid at school. She goes to school in a school in Taguig, malapit sa Serendra. So I dropped her off. Usually I wait for her, but on Wednesdays I work. I teach in a university in Quezon City. So I took C5 and Libis, and then papunta dun sa work ko. But while I was driving, it started raining super hard. Like talagang raining cats and dogs. Like lakas talaga ng ulan. Like, bumaha na yung Libis, bumaha na yung C5. I'm in my CRZ, which is kind of low. And to be fair to the CRZ, like, nadaanan ko na to sa baha, and it was perfectly fine. So, I have, like, this guy and I have been, I've been through a lot together. I trust it. It will get me home. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the Galactica line. Where Adama says that, and it was just like, that was cast. And so, nag-text kagad na yung isang student ko na, "Sir, can we have online class? Kasi ang lakas ng ulan." Pero papunta na ako sa school. So I'm like, and I was driving, and really, really 100% you need to focus on the road because the road conditions it's already flooded, and it's really strong rain. And actually I was doing good time. Like, wala masyadong traffic just because everybody was driving so slow. There were trucks, everybody was behind the trucks, but I got ahead of the trucks. So the traffic was okay, but you need to be like super focused on the rain and the weather conditions, things like that. So I'm like, I'll text you later, but I'll text you in like 30 minutes. So when I got to a place where I could text him, I'm like, I'm already on campus. We will continue with face-to-face class, but I will stream the class. We will still do, so talagang hybrid. Like, for those who want to come into face-to-face, I am here and I will be conducting face-to-face, but I will also stream it online, and I will not penalize anyone who attends class just online. But it really struck me na ang bilis lang talaga ng ulan. Like, I wasn't expecting like a literal downpour and then baha kaagad. But afterwards, after that downpour, everything was fine. Like, it didn't rain. It rained a little bit the rest of the day, but not so much na the roads would still be passable. Pero wala, nasabi ko na online class. So I went ahead with the online class, but the Wi-Fi connection in my school is not so great. So the connection kept cutting out. What are you gonna do? And to be fair to the students, a lot of them did end up going to class. Ako personally, I don't like online class. And it's would be weird for me to say this because I do a lot of streams, right? Like, we have 4 streams for the sponsor, and then 4 game streams. So I am on like 30 days out of the month for sure. At least 8 of those days I am streaming something. But for teaching, I really do not like online class. There's no interaction at all. So as much as possible for me, it's really face-to-face class. I think there's real value and merit in face-to-face classes, and it's good to be flexible. Occasionally, and I try to, I understand that might be difficult to get to school, but there's really value to have interactions with the students. Hopefully, interactions that make them think and make connections and make them remember the kind of points that you're trying to make, rather than it's a very lecture based type which inevitably online class is, kasi you can't really have fruitful interactions. I mean, I wasn't teaching during the pandemic, for those, and I've talked about this in the previous streams, for those who didn't catch it before, I am teaching now at a university, and I used to teach also. So right after college, the school where I graduated from, so I graduated English literature and minor in philosophy. So the school where I graduated from was like, hey, do you want to come and teach English to freshmen, to college students? And I was, that's a nice feeling. Like, I respect my school, I admire it, and so you're a product of that school, and then for that school to come and ask you to come back and kind of like, we think you're good enough. I mean, fresh grad. Like, I literally just graduated from the program, and they were like, come teach. And teachers that you admire, the teachers that you just had as teachers, come up to you and say because it's the admin that comes to you, but to ask you to teach. But they also kind of get teachers that that you had, that you were under. back. Alright, we're back again. Let's hope the connection stabilizes. I don't know if it's like the handoff between different cell towers. You're driving through one place, there aren't a lot of cell towers, but these are still pretty urbanized areas. I don't know why Globe, but consistency Globe dito. They're really the connection is spotty. Yeah, like you can't rely on it to just go straight. Like whether you're in the north, whether you're in the south, talagang magka-cut out siya. We're sort of near Lipa now, so we haven't hit Maharlika Highway yet. And yeah, so I was saying that that's a really nice feeling when your teachers are the ones who come to you and ask you, hey, do you want to teach? But I didn't say yes right away because I was entering law school. So I entered law school. I did 1 year of law school. Then I was like, oh yeah, no problem. I can do law school and teach at the same time. So I was a full-time law student and a part-time faculty member teaching English at university. And so I taught there for 3 years. So I finished law school in 4 years. The remaining 3 years, second year to fourth year, that was my thing. I was a full-time law student and a part-time faculty member, and I really enjoyed myself. But I had to stop teaching when I was going to take the bar. So like, todo aral para sa bar, no time for other distractions. After that, I became a lawyer, so I worked a little bit as a lawyer. So I stopped teaching after law school. And then 20 years later, roughly, basically, so I'm a lawyer already, I have a business already, and I was like, I really do miss teaching. So, but the problem is I can't teach English anymore kasi in the intervening 2 decades, in the intervening 20 years, man, boss, the curriculum got reformatted, got really adjusted because of K to 12. So the subjects that I used to teach in first year college got moved to senior high. So I am no longer qualified to teach English at the college level. So I was looking around for what kind of subject can I teach now. And since, thanks to you guys, and this is where you guys come in, the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, we basically bootstrapped our marketing with Hardware Sugar. No budget. No budget marketing. It's really entrepreneurial marketing, right? You have a business, you have very little budget for everything. You have very little budget for staff, for the actual inventory if you're running like a retail business. You have very little budget for marketing. So yeah, everything you see about Hardware Sugar, really, from the shop to the marketing, everything was bootstrapped, like how to do it by yourself. Sorry, I'm just talking about like how everything is cheap on Hardware Sugar, and then the camera just took a dive down kasi hindi nakalock yung gimbal sa nung tripod. Yeah, so I went back to my university, to a completely different department and area of the university that I've never had contact with because I was never a business major. Yun nga, Alright, hopefully stabilized. We're actually going through some chop now because the road is really, the paving is not great. Come on, Globe, get your shit together. Interestingly, the road is not smooth, and Globe is also not smooth. But just now, the road is smoothed out, and Globe seems to have smoothed out also. What's up, Nain Art? Sorry, and the road is choppy, the stream is also choppy. I apologize. Like if we do more of this, I should just really get a certain connection. But you know, both these telco companies, I wish they would spend less on marketing. Because we were just talking about marketing, and I'll get back to that in a little bit. Like how Hardware Sugar has no budget for anything, including marketing. So the YouTube channel, the Facebook page are products that very no budget style of kind of guerrilla marketing, where we try to make it organically interesting rather than having to rely on budget to just cut it out again. Instead of getting millions to get endorsers, celebrity endorsers, why don't they spend it on infrastructure? More cell towers, routers. I don't cut out again, back again. Yeah, I was just saying, I was like doing a fake kind of like a self-deprecating mocking, like, oh, kawawang YouTuber. Alright, we are at the toll booth now. I hope we have load. Yes, we do have load. We are in Ibaan. How do I... There, Jesus.
Turn left.
Ah! Hang in there, stream, hang in there. Alright, we are off the highway. We are in Ibaan. And actually, I really enjoy these drives through these towns also. Like, medyo probinsya type na. Kasi medyo sa loob-loob. I also find the roads and the drive really interesting. At a certain point in this stream, I will probably talk about like the other roads abroad that I've driven on, because I usually touch on that when I run out of things to talk about. But the road is stabilized now. The internet connection seems to have stabilized now, so hopefully. Sup, Ochi? Thank you. Good morning. So it's 2 kilometers and we hang a left. Sorry, just getting the lay of the land. Yung highway kasi medyo, even if you don't drive there all the time, medyo kind of figure out like when to overtake and things like that. But you know, these kind of more provincial roads. What are we on? 5th gear. Alright. Plus it's a more residential area, so you gotta be on the lookout for oh guys, there's like a big truck, you can't see it, there's a big truck up ahead, and then basically this other car tried to take the other lane, but the other truck was doing like this big U-turn, so both of them stopped. And then like there was this thing like ayaw magbigayan, and I'm just driving up to it where the two cars are basically blocking the road. So I'm like, what's going on, guys? Why is everybody turning left here? I don't want to turn left. Oh, jeez. Oh, we're still straight. Bye-bye. Well, at least those guys are going somewhere else, not where we're going. No, could we have turned left there?
In 800 meters, keep left.
I think we could have turned left there, actually. The Waze rerouted me somewhere else. Okay. In ways I trust. Okay, so the monologue has fallen off a little bit because I am concentrating on driving, since it's like there are a lot of course changes. I mean, I need to like do a lot of turns, plus you're in a residential area. You have to keep on the lookout for tricycles, people, dogs, cats, all that stuff.
200 meters. Keep left. And then turn left.
So I am 98% focused on driving now, with only 2% focus on the street.
Keep left. And then turn left. Turn left.
Ah! Don't leave me, chat. Ugh.
In 200
No.
meters. Turn left.
Okay. The tripod kasi is also not very stable. Oop. Here's my left. Passing a church. St. James the Greater. Kawawa naman si St. James the Lesser. I would imagine the one in... I would imagine the church in Alabang, which is also St. James, would be St. James the Greatest. Just because they got so much budget over there. Speaking of budget.
In 400 meters. Turn right.
So there are like 6 cars in front of us, but we are all stopped because of a bus that wants to turn left. But there's a traffic cop telling him he can't turn left. So now nobody can go straight. And we want to go straight. Yes, so I will pick the thread on... So 20 years later, parang nakakawalang gana. Yun nga, parang nagkakwento ka about something and then the stream cuts out and you're trying to pick it up again, but you know, literally the thread is gone. Hi, Jessica. So the bus was not allowed to go into, is this City Hall? There's some kind of hall here. Recto Gym.
In 200 meters. Turn right.
Will do, zombie. Yes, I'll start up the pattern a little bit. I just need to maybe get on the highway again, or I don't know what Waze has in mind for me.
Turn right.
Tricycle. There's a Jollibee. And because it's almost election season, we have politicians with their tarpaulins wherever. I thought we had a law against that. Multiple laws against that, whether you're doing it like, oh, here is a relief good and here's the face of the government officials. I think that's illegal. Or early campaigning is also illegal, and yet we have a lot of posters with tarpaulins with pictures of hopeful and incumbent people who will be running, I guess. Alright, next stop, 11 kilometers away. We're only doing 22 kilometers now. because there are two cars in front of me. The first car is super slow. The second car is also super slow. Like there's literally nobody in front of these guys. What are these guys doing? Why? Alright, so yeah, so I wanted to I feel like Globe really doesn't want me to share the story of how I ended up teaching again. Because every time I start teaching, every time I start telling the story, the stream cuts out. So I will not make kwento that anymore, and you guys can blame Globe. It really is Globe's fault, like legit. Oh wow, this place has really cheap gas. It's like less than 50 pesos a liter. That I'm mildly obsessed with gas prices in Metro Manila because depende sa gas station. You can really get like a wide swing. So let's say it's like 55 pesos per liter. But you can easily find one that's like 51 pesos. So that's like a 10% difference just from going to a different gas station. Plus, if you get like some gas stations have like these discount cards and stuff, if you add up the discount, mas maliit pa. I mean, or mas malaki pa yung discount na makuha mo. So, and Waze actually is also good at that. Like they have the prices of each gas station. Sometimes it's up to date, sometimes it's not, but at least you can get a ballpark figure. And like the gas stations in Makati are more expensive than Manila in general, but a lot of the time also it really depends. Like kahit you're not in the expensive part of Makati, mahal pa rin yung gas. So Manila din, paminsan, depending on the area, mahal din. So the closest, or the cheapest gas I've been able to find in the areas that I frequently go to. Na it makes sense for me to fill up there is in White Plains, the Eco Fuel in White Plains. And then I think with the discount, because you can get a discount card for free. With the discount card, it's like 51 pesos ata. Or maybe slightly lower now, maybe around 50 or so pesos per liter. That's a lot better than around like 55, 56, which I'm getting in my area. So I pass by there once a week and I really make it a point to fill up with gas. And then so I also, when I'm outside of Metro Manila, I also take notice of like the gas prices that we see. So the cheapest is 49, which is pretty good. Okay, on the upside, the guy who was super slow just turned off the road and he did it like in such a... Okay, so now we just need to overtake one guy if we were so inclined to kind of speed this up. This is the kind of road na dati one-way siya. So may one way this way and one way going the other way. And then they've since expanded the road to make it two-way. But jeez. Oh, come on, man. Grabe naman tong Hyundai sa harap ko. One thing, ano naman. So they've expanded the road to make it two ways on either side. But the second lane is always full of parked cars. So parang yung one lane, yung na-expand na lanes, essentially one lane lang din siya because you have tires on the road, you have road construction. If you go up to Tagaytay a lot, you know what I mean. Alright, the stream is back, but sorry guys, I gotta drive. Gotta do some driving skills currently. And tripod is a bit far from me, so I Jesus motorcycle. So you guys are just gonna have to hang out there, seeing nothing but the sky. I'm just gonna overtake this one guy because he's super annoying. Alright, alright. Well, okay, hang on. Okay, there we go. I've not overtaken the annoying guy yet. Alright. Back on track. Actually, another reason I keep telling myself to. Okay, wait, I'm tightening the gimbal now. That's something we can improve on immediately. Alright. Okay. Yeah, one thing I keep telling myself is I should really change the camera, like how I do these live drives. Because basically the angle, I don't like the angle. Like kitang-kita, like you can see my double chin. And it's like, But like I don't drive naman like this. I mean, but this is how I drive normally. But yeah, you can see like the shadow. And anyway, just my insecurity. Okay, so yeah, we're on the kind of road na I was talking about the road when Globe cut me off again.
Heavy traffic reported ahead. Did you bring any snacks? I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, so this is the kind of road that was one way, then they expanded it one way going, one way coming, and then they expanded the road. But the problem with the expansion is hindi rin nagagamit kasi palagi may nakapark, palagi may road construction dun. So essentially naging one way na lang din siya, which is kinda, I mean, yes, it's good that you tried to expand the road, but because of, again, yung nga, construction or just people parking, it doesn't really serve its purpose a lot. I mean, if a road's purpose is to facilitate the flow of traffic, because a lot of people don't use the other lane because they know that ang daming obstructions dun. So like right now, we're kind of like passing some market stalls with fruits and things. So may nakapark. And we're moseying along at around 20 kph. The road ahead is a little congested. I will not talk about my teaching anymore because Globe likes to cut me off on there. I will not talk about the road anymore because Globe likes cutting me off there. So we will turn to my next go-to topic for live drives, which is sometimes I talk about like when I'm playing now. You can do that. Okay. Hang on, we're just passing a gas station. I'm curious kung magkano. There is a McDo up ahead. I haven't taken a potty break yet. Maybe we should arrange for a potty break. But like I like going, I mean, I try to go as far as possible without having to do a potty break. I don't know, potty breaks just kind of break up the, you know, you're in a nice rhythm already, you're driving, I don't know. Potty breaks just kind of ruin that. So I just did. If you watch the last game stream, I just finished Jedi Survivor, which I really enjoyed. That's a really good game. Actually, I'm still playing it now. Like I'm just finishing up some stuff. Oh, this is like 50 pesos per liter. Okay. So there are lots of like little nooks and crannies in the game that I haven't done yet. Like there are bounty hunters after you. Now I want to defeat all of the bounty hunters and things like that. It's just fun. And then my kids sometimes are on my lap when I play, so they like watching me play. And hopefully, I'm a good influence, and they also get into gaming. I have high hopes for my daughter to become a streamer, much to the dismay of my wife, who does not think that is a proper occupation. But I'm all for my daughter or my son to become a streamer. Realistically, I think maybe it's easier. That's a whole kind of worms, right? If I say like, oh, it's easier to become popular as a streamer if you're female, there's like a lot of people might take offense. I think it's easier for the target market, who are mostly male, if you're a streamer who's female. I mean, not that, of course, guys will also like to watch other guys play, but parang added visual appeal kung female eh. And I guess it's not, the stream's going off the rails when I touch on topics like, I mean, like, is it politically incorrect not to say so? I mean, I think visually, if you're a guy and a lot of your target audience, if you are a streamer, a game streamer, would be guys, visually you would be more inclined to watch a female streamer, and that's borne out by the number of game streamers who are female and that reach a critical level of popularity and audience, diba? I mean, that said, I'm not gonna touch on like some people naman are like, well, they just got in, if they're females, they just got into streaming because they are not real gamers. Parang ginawa lang nila kasi alam nila na sisikat sila, alam nila na may manonood. That one actually I won't agree with, because what is a real gamer? And of course, as I say that, parang it's like, everybody can be a gamer, and I believe that, and that's coming from my point of view. Now I've been gaming since forever. I mean, ever since my first console was a Famicom. I was maybe like 6 years old, and then my first computer was a 486 back when I was around 10 years old. So ever since then, parang gaming, Game Boy, whatever. But I'm not. I find it weird when gamers are the ones who are like, oh, you're not a gamer. This guy's a gamer. This guy is not a gamer because he only plays casual games or whatever. Parang it was like, before, gaming wasn't really super cool, and like you were like a real nerd or a geek if you were into games. And then but now na parang medyo mainstream na siya, it's like now that it's mainstream, it's like there are people saying, oh, they're like gamers and they're non-gamers or casual gamers or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know why we feel the need to be exclusionary about it. If you play games, you're a gamer. I mean, that's it for me. There's like no requisite qualification that you need to play a certain type of game, or oh, come on, I want to go straight. Oh, jeez. Straight. So this is like, I don't know what this guy is doing. I don't know also what I'm supposed. Are we stopped? Are we waiting? Can I go straight? Oh, jeez. I have no idea what was going on. So So there was somebody who was turning left, but he couldn't turn left because there was oncoming traffic. But I could go straight, but the oncoming traffic on the other side was turning left from their point of view, which would cut into my lane. So I didn't know who had right of way. And there were traffic cops, but they were just like, well, you know, it's just like, kanyang banat, even though we're here. Yeah, so I'm not exclusionary at all when it comes to games. Whoever wants to game and call themselves a gamer is completely alright by me. That said, of course, I have my own personal, like, well, I think you're more of a serious gamer if you play these kind of games. But just like, you know, general moniker na gamer, I don't understand why some people get all possessive about it. Na it's like, it's almost like this is my identity and you can't share, you can't be a part of that identity. Man, relax. Okay, so when you're saying it's traffic, it's not really traffic, it's just more like we're kind of like in a city and there are a bunch of cars who are going slow because there are tricycles and things like that. And then people turning off the main road and people whatnot. So that's why Wade thought it was a slowdown. It's not really traffic per se. ETA is still 9:33. ETA is still around an hour and 15. So make good time. No need to rush really. No need to stress out. Yes, on that note, I am enjoying Jedi Survivor. I enjoyed Jedi Survivor a lot. I think it really captures the power trip of being a Jedi, where you can literally push people around, throw them into the air. My favorite is just throwing people off cliffs. Like you force push them off a cliff. Like they're on a ledge or on a cliff or something, and then you force push a stormtrooper or something. Just last night I was playing with my son, and then there's a bounty hunter, and then parang mala Boba Fett na may jetpack. And then so what I did was, so the bounty hunter is in the air, and he's shooting his blasters at me, and then the bounty hunter is not below him. There's nothing because we were kind of like in a cloud city kind of environment where I'm on a platform, but the bounty hunter, or Camino / Cloud City environment where there was nothing under the bounty hunter. So I force pulled him, like the strongest force pull you can do in the game, and then he died. Like, this is like one of the bosses. He died because I pulled him down far enough na tumama na dun sa floor ng game, where the floor registered him as falling to his death and plummeting, and then I don't really wanna overtake this guy. Is it worth it? So I mean, on one hand, it's kind of a cheap way to dispatch your enemies. You force push, you pull. But on the other hand, it is the power trip of being a Jedi. And you can imagine why a lot of them turn to the dark side, because if you did have that kind of power, it is super easy to abuse. Another super simple thing I like doing is that you force pull a stormtrooper or an enemy, and then you stab them with your lightsaber. So that's like an insta kill. If he isn't aware of your presence, you pull him, and then you stab him basically in the back. Like if his back is to you, you force pull him towards you, and then you ignite your lightsaber, and then you see the blade exiting the stormtrooper. It's like, and then like I'm like, man, that is super satisfying. Because in Survivor, you don't need to. I mean, of course, you're leveling up your powers, and then they get much more powerful as the game progresses. But even at the start, you already have basic powers. Not like in the first game, Shattered Order, Failed Order, Fallen Order. Not like in Fallen Order, where you start the game that you don't know you have, you're force sensitive, and so you have to learn being force sensitive and using the lightsaber and things like that. So this game, you already have powers kagad, and you're quite strong, even like, but you will be even, and then the car has no intention of of overtaking the tricycle, but then it's a one lane thing, and I'm not really in a hurry, so I also don't want to overtake. Okay, relax. And then there's one point in Jedi Survivor you have to fight Darth Vader. It's not really spoilery since even in Fallen Order you do need to fight Vader. But oh my god, this guy is so slow. Oh my god. Oh my god, what is this guy? Man, really no sense of urgency over here. Alright, let's do this.
100 meters. Keep right.
Alright, overtook one tricycle.
Keep right.
Welcome back, chat. Stream. Thanks, Globe, again for the wonderful internet connection. Really aces. So we overtook some people, but we merged onto another road where there are a lot more people. I don't seem to be on the Maharlika Highway. I don't know. Did we just decide na ano? Oh, like here, like the gas here is like 59 pesos. And just like back there a couple of 20 minutes ago, it was like 49 or something. See, layo ng price difference. Yeah, so I was talking about Jedi Survivor. In Survivor, both in Survivor and Fallen Order, you have to fight Darth Vader. But in Fallen Order, it's kind of like you know that. I mean, obviously you can't defeat Vader, right? Because that goes against canon, and you know how Vader's gonna end. I mean, Return of the Jedi won't happen if some wannabe Jedi Cal Kestis defeats him, right? But in Survivor, when you face off against Vader, you're actually playing a different character. You're not playing your main character. And parang the history of that character in relation to the universe of Star Wars, it makes the battle a lot more. And then the normal. Gonna use all sorts of force stick, yung ang lakas nung damage nung attacks niya. But he's also kind of slow. I mean, you imagine him in a suit of armor, and he's very intimidating, he's very tall, but his swings are kind of slow. So you get him. Okay, wait, hang on, I gotta. Alright, over to a tricycle. Jeez, tricycle. So he's kind of ponderous. Vader is, not like super agile. Keep him off balance. And ang ganda nung rhythm ng battle na yun. Like Vader, or the way they coded Vader, he can also get like you hit him, he's sparring, and then suddenly you force push just enough for him to break his guard, and then you hit him again, and then you leap back. But you can't give him an opening. You have to be super aggressive. And then the fighting style against Vader is different compared to like the other enemies that you meet. You gotta switch up your fighting style depending on who you're fighting. But for Vader talaga, if you give him an opening, like if you're medyo standoffish, like if you kind of like, okay, it's gonna be a long battle and like keep my distance and stuff, he is just gonna wail on you, man. He's gonna send like debris flying your way and things like that. So with Vader, it's always like you're up close so that he doesn't have a chance to use his other powers, but you can't be too close because he might use his force stroke or something. It was a really intense battle. It really like in keeping with how you would imagine dueling Vader would be. And then the history of the character compared to what Vader went through, compared to the history of the character in the Star Wars universe, and you really get caught up in the battle. Like at one point you're just like, you're hitting Vader and you're thinking like, well, this is for the Order, everything that you took down, all the younglings that you killed. I mean, parang I think those are like the best moments of gaming where they really transport you into the game. Like you are that character, and you're just not playing a game. I mean, because when you play a game, there are a lot of extrinsic things. What are the reviews? What are the graphics? Or why is this poorly optimized? PC port. Ang daming things outside of the game. But like the best games for me really transport you into the game. Yeah, and that duel with Vader was one of those moments for me. One of my best gaming moments for 2024. Na you really feel like, damn, man, and it's like parang you get caught up in the moment. So I really enjoyed Jedi Survivor, and a real highlight for me was the duel with Vader. I won't spoil it too much, but obviously like Vader gets away, but you do manage to give the Sith Lord a run for his money. Tsaka medyo malakas naman yung character na ginagamit mo eh. So, I mean, many have fallen before Anakin. But I think this one would the guy in front of me seems to know what he's doing, so he's driving quite fast also. So hopefully we won't have any more of those slow cars. Hirap eh, parang wala naman traffic, mabagal lang. Globe cut out again. Kinda interesting, like I noticed that the mobile connection seems to cut out as I drive fast. Like there's a higher chance for it to cut out when I'm accelerating and driving faster. Like parang naiiwan yung signal, which is, I mean, if you know the physics of radio frequencies and stuff, an acceleration from 40 to 80 kilometers per hour shouldn't matter. But I don't know, just from on an anecdotal level, parang weird lang na as I accelerate, wala yung signal. Could be because you're switching cell towers, but actually there should be multiple cell towers, right? So it's not like you're reaching the limit of one and then you're just entering the limits of another. I mean, like usually naka-overlap kasi yun eh, parang Venn diagram. Hindi naman siya parang individual cell and then you're we're about to leave this cell. Cell. It's spiffier now, although this guy, there's a motorcycle. Back again. Stream cutting out again. In front of a jeepney again. Okay, jeepney has parked now. There's a dumb motorcycle in front of me. Like, motorcycles, I don't know why they're so fond of motorcycles. I don't know why they're so fond of, like, they use their small size to weave in and out of cars. But then when there's no car in front of them, di rin sila tumatabi. It's like they want to take up the entire lane, and you're like, why? There's a whole other lane. Trying to read chat, it's not a good idea. Oh, you know what? I would like a hash brown. Hash brown would be good. Just past the sign saying na may McDo. Hash brown would be good. But yeah, I don't really stop when I do these long drives. We'll stop when we get there. Ay nako, it's his motorcycle again. The one that doesn't know how to stick to his lane. I'm not sure if this is the highway. Oh, there's an owner type. Ay. Ay. And a car and a motorcycle. I guess ito yung annoying. Like, it's annoying because you can go fast because there aren't a lot of people on the road. But the people on the road are just going slow. Hi, and of course the jeepney just stops in front of you. Oh, actually that's a good view. At least you see a little bit of my face. It's okay if the tripod is actually at an angle on the floor, but yeah, that's actually a good angle. The sound might be a little weaker since the phone is a bit farther from me, but usually the audio, actually it amazes me that the audio pickup is very, but you know what's the problem here is I have trouble reconnecting. Sometimes I need to touch the phone to reconnect the stream. And like, of course I could hope that Globe doesn't cut out again, but you know, Globe will cut out again. That is an inevitability. But yeah, for the moment, it's a pretty good angle. Alright, seem to have the thought, apparently I cut out and then I'm back again. It's just a thought na, why does Abby Binay have a poster here? I just saw Abby Better. What is going on? Is Abby Binay running for senator to replace Nancy Binay? Somebody else to be mayor of Makati? Yeah, so it's not like, I mean, when I'm driving in these situations, it's not like I'm even in a rush, but just thinking about na there's no reason why I can't be driving faster. Parang it seems inefficient. The only reason why I'm not driving faster is because there's a really slow jeep in front of me or something na pwede naman siya tumabi. I mean, yun nga, there are two lanes. The right one is for slow and the left one is for overtaking. So it always kind of like, why? Oh, actually we are less than an hour na lang. Pretty easy drive actually. So far, knock on wood. What I wanted to one project that we have in the to see if we can tour the facility. So we'll make a video about, you know, this is how you make an SSD and these are the raw materials and these are the machines and things like that. So kind of like similar what we did to the Deep Cool factory tour. Because I think it'd be super interesting na we do have an SSD factory here, and I mean like locally, and yeah, I think just for enthusiasts and just people who use computers in general, it'd be kind of interesting to see where it comes from, where SSDs come from, where they're made. Unfortunately, it's super hard to contact Toshiba on my own. Without any luck, without any success. We have our producer who usually works on our budget-friendly SSDs are made. So that's one thing that sana matuloy. Actually, it hasn't even got off the ground yet kasi nga we haven't found anybody we can talk to.
Heavy traffic reported ahead. Did you bring any snacks? I'm getting hungry.
Keep it together, zombie. No snacks. No snack on me. And then another thing that we want to sana tour is a tech recycling plant. So there's also, so they gather up old technology, e-waste that nobody wants, old tablets, old phones, old computers, things like that. And then they recycle them. So I assume they melt them down for the raw material. Then plant metals that you can find in motherboards and things like that, to tour that facility also, and yeah, see how they do it. So that one we're in touch. We did find a contact, but he has not replied to us anymore. I know, sorry, the latest update was na they are getting permission from their higher ups basically. So hopefully matuloy din yun. So both of those are in the Laguna area, yung parang industrial park area of Laguna. Both I think would be super interesting for me. Like I don't know, to be honest, about viewers, but I think it'd be interesting to document and yeah, just see how SSDs are made and like e-waste. I think we're the number one e-waste producer of e-waste in Southeast Asia. And you think about it, Indonesia has more people. Like their population is greater. And I mean, I'm not being hypocritical about it. I mean, in a way, I own a PC store, a retail store, so we're also kind of fueling the desire to upgrade. Every time we market now, oh, here's the latest motherboard from ASUS, or this is a build that we did, or if you want to buy a PC, we deliver it personally. I mean, things like that, right? That is something that we, in a way, we're encouraging people to replace their computer and or buy a new computer, or yeah, we're stimulating demand. That said, we do have to try to cut back on e-waste. One in particular is, hi Jessica. Ito pala yung downside. Can't see the you guys are slightly obscuring the right side mirror. Yung pa downside no. Man, there was just a tricycle. Goodness. Yeah, so one program in particular that we're super proud of, it doesn't make us any money, it's a lot of effort to keep track of, but basically if you're a Hardware Sugar customer, you can list any old tech with us. Like you have an old motherboard, an old GPU, an old whatever, old monitor. So you just need to send it to us in the shop, because the pickup point is the shop, and then we take care of everything else, answering inquiries, entertaining the prospective customer if he wants to go in to actually check the item. But basically nobody bothers to go in and us, and that will we say that yes, this is a 3700X. Hi tricycle. It's good enough for people. So parang we're lending our credibility to the second-hand parts. The warranty is between the seller and the buyer, but we basically take care of the entire payment and inquiry and sending out process. So we've done a lot of business. Like business in the sense na the second hand sheet has had a lot of sales, and we're proud of that because these are still good parts. They find good new homes with people, and they get bought for it's win-win. The seller gets extra money, and the buyer, oh god, I just want to overtake this guy. Bloody hell. This is also why I take the CRZ, because sports mode. Ay, Jesus. Why the Why? Napapakamot ka na lang ng ulo eh. Like he's signaling but then he didn't turn. Ay, jeez. Some drivers you just wanna pop them on the head. It's like, what? Why? 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 I really stress myself out actually when I drive because it's just like super irritating. Look at this guy. What the hell are you doing? Oh my god. Oh my god. I will refrain from ranting about how the road is a shared space and we should all be considerate about the other motorists who are on the road with you. Alright, but yes. After all of that stuff na, I love to drive. I like getting out of the city. I like stretching my legs, etc. etc. Man. Man, oh man. Yeah, so if you're a Hardware Sugar customer of anything, like you got a service from us, like our cleaning cable management service, our diagnostic service, you bought a part from us or anything, basta you have exchanged money with us, you're considered a Hardware Sugar customer, and you can list your second-hand parts with us, and we basically take care of everything. Even the payment, the buyer sends us the payment, and then we remit it to the seller. Tapos, no commission. We don't get any cut at all from any of the sales, and we've had a lot of sales for the second-hand parts. It's been pretty good. So that's one thing I'm proud of, kasi if you're upgrading and you don't know what to do with your new system, with your old system, you can have us list it and then we will find a buyer, and yun, that's extra money for you, and somebody else can use your PC. And a lot of the times we find na Hardware Sugar customers are pretty reliable, so the items that they sell are in good condition. Like, we've never had a complaint na, hey, you know, the part we got from the second hand is, I thought this McDo was 24 hours but it's closed. We've never had a complaint na, you know, this item that we bought from the second hand place was defective right out of the box, may problema or something. So that's a nice thing about, it's kind of filtered in a sense because not everybody can list on the second hand sheet. It's more of like an added benefit to Hardware Sugar customers, but anyone can buy from the second-hand sheet. But yeah, we found I think that's I'm really proud of that service that we provide. Kasi yun nga, there's a lot of e-waste, and companies nowadays just encourage you to keep buying, diba? Upgrade, latest and the greatest. This will blow your mind away. And then 6 months from now, no, this will blow your mind away. And 1 year from now, if your mind has not yet been blown out, what is left of your mind that wasn't blown away will be blown away. I mean, diba? And like just yesterday, I was reading that the 4090 will probably be discontinued in the next couple of months or so. And then Nvidia might announce the 50 series this year, but probably early next year. So yes, I mean, it is the nature of the tech market, whether that is mobile devices or PC parts, na they just want you to keep buying and buying. But the secondhand parts list people to, it's a lot less just getting it from a rando on Facebook Marketplace. You still communicate with us, so the seller doesn't need to worry anymore about getting these random inquiries and having to reply to people and answering the same questions over and over again. So it is a lot of work on our part, but it is, yeah, something that we like to do, and so try to make our operation as green as possible. Hang on, there's a tricycle that I want to overtake, but I have to counter flow. Sports mode super useful. Oh my god, these tricycles. Why am I on this? Oh no, this isn't the highway. Is it? Oh god, these tricycles. Again. It's been a while since I've been alternating like this from sports mode to eco and back to eco and scenery is nice though. I think we have some rice fields. There are so many tarpaulins though for government officials. Like, what is going on? I mean, yes, the elections are about to start, but this is hindi pa campaign season, guys. You're not allowed to put up tarpaulins yet. Okay, some driving, overtaken. And again, this is my daily driver, because it is economical when I need it to be, and it can give me kick. It can give me the speed I need when I feel the need for speed. And then, but like, you know, overtaking, going fast, and then you hit a bus, and then everybody has to slow down, and you're like, and you get philosophical, and you think like, really, what was the point of all that overtaking? Why did I just expend gas to overtake when I would just end up slowing down again behind a red bus called Supreme? Well, the bus just stopped in the middle of the road. Lord.
Elite.
So I'm about to get on the Quezon Eco Tourism Road. I have no idea. We're stopped now because there's a um Oh wow, we're just gonna go straight on the Quezon. Ah, so we didn't take Maharlika. 35 minutes, 26 kilometers. I do need to pee. All right. Nice to see you guys are still there. Globe is not cut out. Who's in chat? Oh god. Beta the Explorers up. Zazgot. Gamer Zone. Phoenix. Valhalla ata. Sorry, I can't. The camera. The back again. Globe terrible. Let's hope the connection stabilizes. We are on a nice road now. It's like the Quezon Eco Tourism Road. Very well paved. I wouldn't say wider, but since you can go a lot faster, di siya issue. In fact, I'm going like 70. I can't even catch up with the guys in front of me. When the stream cut out, we were just crossing a one-lane bridge with a steep drop to the river. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, this is a nice road. Parang I've never done this one before. Again, Globe not the best. Hang on. Yes, so I was saying this road is pretty good. The Quezon Tourism Road or something. It's pretty good. You have like the mountain there in the background. I'm not sure. At rice fields. Nice. It is like one way again. Wow, this really big. Look at the mga Carabao. And even though it's a jeepney in front of me, he is speeding along. In fact, he would be going faster if not for the guy in front of him, who's the one who's slow actually. We are zipping along nicely. Internet seems to be back. So we were stopped at the bridge. We were stopped at a one-lane bridge waiting for our turn, and I had just, gotten into my snacks, and then we started going again. So I only got one bite, and then na. Gas doing pretty good. I think I've only finished 1/5 or 1/6 as I was at full tank. So definitely can make it back without having to refuel. Actually, the gas mileage on cars would really be a lot better without the traffic. I mean, they can go much further longer on less if not for the traffic. buti na lang the stream cut out actually a short while back kasi there was like this one idiot in front of me signaling right. Then he started to go right, then he straight out. Yung parang he was like he changed his mind about turning right. So you're about to pass him, but he straightened out. So you're like, okay, I can't pass him. Then he turned, then he started to go to the right again. I'm like, my God, what's going on? Like, just make up your mind already. Jeez. Got a shuttle service cut right in front of me. Like talagang walang pakundangan na bit of a dangerous maneuver. A lot of work on this road though. Does you know how road work? Like you're looking at it, then parang mukhang ayos na siya. Like you think it can be used. And you're not quite sure why it hasn't been opened yet. We'll be getting off this road soon, 50 kilometers. Starting to see ads for Lucena-based businesses, so we should be, you know, we're almost there. Made good time. $9:13 pa lang. ETA now 9:36. Good time. Yes, so what else is there to talk about? Thank you for joining me for a live drive. I mean, we're not there yet, but we are really on our way. It's a Friday, so what content? We have a preview of an Asus motherboard, which should drop pretty soon. It's a pretty nice looking motherboard. Plus it has some features na super useful. So one thing I like about Asus, they're always doing practical things with their motherboards. Like they came up with a Q-latch system na, you know, for SSDs, instead of having to screw in the SSD, you can just kind of slip, you know, you flick something and then it slides into place, keeping your SSD in place. They have the Q release system for the GPU, like you press a button, the GPU pops out. But they have, in this latest motherboard that we have, which we will, yeah, the video's done already. We're just trying to see when it would be a good time. Also, I do still owe the chair review video for September, which is the TT Racing Grogu chair. So that'll drop next week. We owe the sponsor 2 more shorts and 2 more streams actually. We should get on that. Medyo maaga kasi yung content namin this year, this month. So I think we kind of slacked off a little bit in the middle of the month. Although we were hitting our release schedules pretty good. We just released Price Watch, I think, nung Monday. And before that, yeah, the cadence was pretty good. We got the game streams done early on in the month. There is one video, what I haven't gotten done yet was I wanted sana every month there's like a long form video, like a longer-ish type of video. Where yeah, I just need to shoot it. So actually that one might come out next month pa. And we're also doing a fan review like lineup. Like different, usong-uso ngayon yung mga portable hand fans. So we will have a kind of roundup video. Different brands, different types of portable handheld fans, and then why are they stopped? The lane is open. And then we'll see which one is best. Kind of a very mainstream consumer kind of product compared to like a PC product. But we found it interesting because there is a PC brand, Arctic, that came out with its own kind of small desktop or handheld fan. So Arctic, well known for its cooling of PC parts. So we were kind of curious to see if it could cool the human body also, and it did quite well. But yung parang pinakasikat na brand dun sa space na yun currently is yung parang Jizu Life or Jeju Life or something. So we also reviewed that, and then I forget the brand name, but there's also another brand na medyo second to Jeju Life, Juju Life. We will review, posted already on YouTube and Facebook. Kilometers out from the meet up to Maharlika Highway, where the two connect. Yeah, content wise, I mean, we're never short of content. There's always like some video idea that we're kicking around. It's just really finding the time to do them and to kind of do them properly, kind of execute on the videos properly. A lot of it is in the edit. I mean, to make a video interesting, a lot of it is in the edit. Oh, there's like a big, may parang oil depot, gas depot. Had a truck now. generally you're like, oh, I don't want to be behind the truck, but this one's going pretty fast. I'm going at 70 and I still haven't caught up with him. So that's pretty good. I'm on econ, not sports mode. Yeah, so where the places na I've gone to with these live drives. Definitely like north all the way nga up to Pagudpod. What's it, Pagudpod? Talon 4 Air BF Homes area kasi they're super, like, you don't know where you can enter, and Waze also doesn't understand where to route you if you can't enter there. It's a real mess. But for those kind of deliveries, sorry, I thought you guys were still offline. It's yawning. Excuse me. Yeah, see, when I accelerate, I don't know why, nawawala yung signal. And again, you know, the physics of the thing, hindi mo dapat, hindi naman naiiwan yung radio frequency. I mean, you can't, the car doesn't travel anywhere near. Pero, yeah, so for those deliveries, actually, kahit sa Las Piñas, we use our in-house guy. So we have a regular employee na his only job is to deliver things and stuff. So he has gotten around to all sorts of places. Talagang sa loob ng Manila, Pasig, Las Piñas, Fairview. Why? This truck goes fast, but man, is he a smoke belcher. Oh, speaking of, I need to change the cabin air filter of this car. Parang time na. Animal quarantine checkpoint. Why do they have these things on the road? I mean, yes, for animal quarantine. What animal quarantine? Tapos wala naman nakabantay sa checkpoint. Why do we have these things? Again, we are very good at making things difficult where things should be easy. Man, I really gotta pee. Crossing the railroad track is a little bumpy, but why did we just slow down there? Yeah, there's this lady on an electric scooter, so nasa side lang siya ng daan. But I mean, she was on the road. She was using the electric scooter on the road. And then, so there's this truck in front of me. And so nag-accelerate siya to overtake the electric scooter. And when he accelerates, grabe yung smoke belching. So that poor lady got a lung full of particulate and smoke and whatnot. So, I mean, you know, you're out in the countryside, you think the air quality will be healthier, and then you breathe in that junk. Are we at the stop? Are we at another animal checkpoint? Slow down, school zone. Nary a child in sight. really straight highway too. I thought we were gonna take Maharlika actually all the way. I thought we were gonna get off SLEX and then Maharlika, but then I don't know, Waze did something, and then now we took the Quezon Eco Tourism Road, which is a very nice road. No problems taking it. I was just surprised na that's where we ended up. Pero yeah, all good. 11 minutes away na lang daw, 9:38. So we are almost there. I just passed Shopee delivery motorcycle, so you know. And you know, it's like Shopee delivery, like nakapile up talaga siya sa likod. You know, you're cramming as many items as possible onto the motorcycle. So, you know, you see it in Manila, you see it, I bet you basically see it anywhere in the Philippines. Grabe yung online shopping. Wow, 11 minutes away. So, pretty fast drive. Matching again. Yesterday when I asked Waze how long it would take, Waze was like mga 4 hours 30. And so like, you know, there's always Waze always too optimistic. So I was saying, oh wait, maybe like 5 hours. I leave 6:30, maybe 11:30. But here we are. Probably make it around 10 o'clock. So it's pretty good. And Hardware Sugar customers are assured that all their orders, sorry, you can't see them. All their orders are safe and sound with me in my car. Well, at least the ones that do personal delivery. But again, to be fair to our couriers, Ninja Van and SF Express, we never had any problems with them. Like, dumating naman yung mga items without any problems. Oh, this is like one way there, other. Okay. How are we gonna pass through here? Weird. Oh, but that's not good. Oh, going home is a little rough. I wonder if I should just take Maharlika. CRZ can take it. Oh. There's somebody calling the Hardware Sugar phone. Oh, but you know, it's one of those numbers na feeling ko hindi legit number. Like Globe calling for about something or other. The number is 214-000. So I feel safe to ignore that. Ha! It was from Globe because they sent an automated text after I did pick up the call. Why does Globe want to talk to me? To apologize for their terrible internet? think not.
Turn right.
At the roundabout, turn right. Got it.
In 200 meters, at the roundabout, turn right. At the roundabout, turn right.
You know these roads you're not familiar with. Parang they all kind of vaguely look familiar. So parang you get deja vu na like this looks vaguely familiar, but you're not sure. But it's like, yeah, parang I came down this road some other trip or something. I'm getting a lot of those vibes, or I got a lot of those vibes just now. And then I'm gonna get another text message and I'm gonna reply to that one. Why is Globe being, instead of like spending money on call centers to call people offering to upsize their phone or whatever, why don't you just spend it on cell towers so that you have better signal? You know, I might have delivered here before. I do kind of remember now. Like this general area is starting to seem really familiar. Kasi this customer, so they own an architectural firm. They bought from us before. They bought a 1200K build 2 years ago, September 2022. So now they're back. They need more PCs. They're buying 3 PCs and a NAS. So she is a repeat customer. And I was trying to figure out if I delivered here already before. And I thought maybe not. But right now the area seems a little familiar now. Jeez. Seems a little familiar. And then I remember making a wrong turn. Like a wrong right turn. Anyway, we'll see.
In 800 meters, turn right.
We shall see. Oh, make up your mind, Montero Sport. Which lane are you in? Right or left? Ah, jeez. Ah, jeez. Yeah, so we've gotten back into the city, so I am focused on driving. You know, there are motorcycles, pedestrians, and tricycles. Yes, this area looks familiar.
In 200 meters, turn
no, wrong turn. I knew it. Other right turn. I knew like small right. I tried to enter into a San Miguel warehouse. I have been here before, guys. I remember this. Yes. All right, we have arrived. Basically, just gonna turn it around. I remember the. Yes, we have been. Okay, relax, relax.
You have reached your destination. But me, I'm cursed. Cursed to wander the streets.
All right, let's just turn this baby around. Oof. I mentioned that my car is lowered. Okie dokes, guys. Thank you for joining me for another live drive. Apparently to a destination we've already been before because this does look familiar. And yes, I will now deliver the 3 PCs and the NAS. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. And yeah, see you around. Sometimes I do like the live drive, like I delivered and round trip. But then on the way back this time, I will listen to podcasts. So, yes. Dave, just received my ordered custom rig today here in Leyte. Sa Tanawan, yes. May buntag, Dave. It's good to hear that you got it and good to hear that you can put the GPU in. It's always better kung we ship the GPU separate from the PC so that we can, kung maalog, walang masisira yung GPU if it gets popped out of the motherboard or something. So yeah, enjoy that. Ang akong papa actually taga Ormoc, so I'm familiar with Leyte. Alright. Happy weekend, Ochi. See you guys. Bye.